and welcome. My name's Kathy A, and boy, I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And I was really touched by all the entries to the giveaway contest last week. I was reading them off to the bud man. I started crying. I mean, it was really touching how most of you were very much involved with your families and your health situations, and just grateful that you were able to wake up and live another day. And it really puts everything in perspective when you do things like that. Thank you all for entering, and I just wish I had the funds, the means, and the products that I could give away more than that, because I do appreciate you, and I really thank you all for your entries. So anyway, so let's get started because there's a huge amount of stuff. I have a Hall of Shame here, and this is big. I get the fashion magazines, as you know, and this came up in two different places, and this is a real fail. And on so many levels. This is the L'Oreal. Can you read this? I don't know if you can read it. It says simulation of actual product results on lashes, enhanced with lash inserts. So this is for Lash Paradise, which is actually not a bad mascara, even though I'm not a big fan of L'Oreal. This particular mascara works pretty well, and a lot of people like it. Why can't they show it like it works? Why do they have to add fake lashes? I mean, that's just such a fail. It's like they should show what it looks like on the model the way it is. Similar. Shame on you, L'Oreal. Shame on you. That's just such false advertising. I know CVS doesn't allow this anymore, but and I mean, there's like, I'm wearing a mascara now because I want to show you about the mascara, but holy cow. Okay, enough of my rants. Controversy. James Charles' sister. There's so much controversy over this, and I'm not a huge Morphe fan. I got the Jaclyn Hill, and it was okay, and there were some nice colors, but I can't stand Morphe in general. I think their quality is crap. And they have some hit or miss colors. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes not so much. I like the lip products, some of the brushes, not all of the brushes, but I think it's just a cheap company. Coastal Scents, BH Cosmetics, and Morphe, to me, are all in the same little ball game. But anyway, this is almost 40 bucks, 39 something. So it's basically 40 bucks for this palette, which is pretty high for a cheap company. I mean, if you spend $5 more, you can get the Anastasia palette, but let's neither here nor there. Now, this particular palette has a wonderful assortment of colors, and I was attracted to it because I like a lot of colors, and then I like a good base set of colors as well in one palette. I think it's easier to travel with it that way. And on the back is this little note from him, and then there's information about the eyeshadows. These are the eyeshadows that are actually considered eyeshadows safe for the eye. And then this whole section in the square here there's a little eye with a cross going through it, like a no, like a banned or forbidden. So it's not for the eyes. And these are the pressed pigments, and pressed pigments are very, very strong. They're made with dyes, and there was I guess a rant from a young lady who her site specializes in rants, so it's not like it was a big surprise she was going to be ranting, but she goes way over the top, like PMS kind of rants. So anyway, she said that the pink she used over her eyes stained her eyes and gave her hives and all this other stuff. So pressed pigments are made with dyes as opposed to being made with the crushed insects that normally make it. I'm going to show you, this is the palette, and it's got some wonderful colors in here, wonderful colors. And it's a great color assortment. There's no mirror here, but that's not a big deal. What I'm going to say is I don't understand why these particular colors were selected for being larger than the other pans. These, you would assume he thinks that these are the colors you would use more often than the others, so they won't run out if you're using them. But I found, you know, yes, I understand this one, and I understand the gold, I understand the brown and the black, but the orange, this, and the yellow, these three in the middle, I mean, a nice ivory would have been great, a nice mid-tone matte brown would have been great. But I digress. I would have preferred to have this and this in here instead of these two. And some other mid-tone, because there's missing a mid-tone matte in here. I think there's a cool mid-tone matte would have been nice. So I marked on the little thing every single one of the pigments. And I'm just going to put it over here so you can see with the overlay. I hope you can see with the overlay. Whoops. But I put a nail polish mark on all of the colors that have, you see that? These are all the colors that are pigments. Those are pigments, which means they're not technically safe for near your eye. Because of the staining, the dyes used in them, Red Lake 40 or whatever it is. So these are all the colors that are affected. I thought it was just going to be a few, but it's a good portion of this palette is dye. And some of the colors are surprising. This is the first Morphe palette I actually like. I actually like this one. I made several looks this week with this palette, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed working with this palette a lot. And I used a couple of the shunned colors. It's got a great variety of colors, and I can't say anything negative about it. I think almost all of the colors had good pigmentation. They blended out a little bit muddy, but you know what? That could be user error too. You know, it could be me. A lot of these, I think, like this green, would probably go on better with your finger. I know some of you hate that I use my finger for eyeshadows, but when you're patting and tapping in the color, sometimes it's better than brushing it in. And I found that there really wasn't any fallout. There was good color coverage. I think aside from that little shade issue, I'd like to see a different shade in there. You know, he's a kid. He's 19 years old. He's got a funny personality. He says some really outlandish things sometimes and just cracks me up. I think he's just an entertaining, but he's a kid. He's 19. I mean, what did you do when you were 19? You reacted. You were more reactionary as well. So we're buying. We're consumers. We're hoping that the company, i.e. Morphe, would make a safe product so that everybody could use it. And that wouldn't have to be, we're not scientists. I mean, when you're buying this and it looks like eyeshadows, we're going to use them like eyeshadows. So, yeah, they did put a little thing on the back that had the eye with the thing on it, but what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to put this on our cheeks? You know, this bright purple, we're going to put that on our cheeks. So, it's obvious, like, we're going to use this as an eye palette. So, they're warning you that basically they're covering their butt. If you get a serious blinding issue, they have their warning on the back. So I know that Jeffree Star has a lot of very vibrant colors, and he actually talked about it a little more. Now, our boy did not talk about it, and I think that's the difference. He didn't talk about it, and I think that that's a shame because, I mean, there are a whole dang lot of these colors. I'm just going to, so you can see. There are a whole dang lot of these colors that are affected with this pigmentation issue. And like, I'm just going to put my finger in this, and I'm going to swatch it on my hand. Now, she said she couldn't get it off. It stained her eyes, and she couldn't. So that's the color. It's called Skip. I'm just going to leave it there. With the tissue, it's not coming off. And with a tissue, it's not coming off. So you have that on your eyelid. Your next step would probably be to use some kind of makeup remover. So let's just use a quick little makeup remover here. But it comes right off. With a micellar eye makeup remover, it comes right off. So, you know, it's right there. And I'm going to put it on my finger, see if it takes that off my finger. So as your live demo, it does come off. So, oh wait a minute, it didn't. Okay, well, maybe how porous your skin is matters. So maybe on your eye it will stain. But, you know, just be aware of it. Be aware of it. Be an educated shopper. But, that all aside, I really like this. The pigmentation is great. And the application is fine. It's actually, out of all the Morphe palettes, this is my favorite. I like this better than the Jaclyn Hill. And I'd recommend this. So, you know, it's kind of ironic that it's tainted with this controversy because it's not really deserved. And, you know, shame on Morphe for not, they just let their spokespeople get thrown under the bus. I mean, he got thrown under the bus here. He didn't make this eyeshadow. He picked out the colors. He picked the colors. I like that pink. I like that blue. So, and he's a kid. He didn't design anything. But he's taking all the heat. He's taking all the heat. They're, you know, sending hate emails and everything else. And that's just not right. So, in defense of James Charles, you know, and I don't care. Some of these beauty gurus, I follow them on and off. You know, if they're talking about something I'm interested in, I'll watch it. I don't have a lot in common with a 19-year-old boy. So, some of the colors he picked, though, were really cool. And I had fun. I especially had fun with the green day that I did and the purple day I did. And if you want a demo with this palette, just let me know in the comments and I will do a get ready with me using the James Charles palette. So I'll show you how I use it, and I really enjoyed it. So I think it's great. In the drugstore, this was in, I think, Walgreens or CVS. It is the Wild Ones collection from Wet n Wild, and I was like, and I had a 25% off your purchase coupon. So this was $9.99, so it was like 10 bucks, but I had my coupon, so it was $7.50. Now, if you look at this, it's got 2 lipsticks, 2 nail polishes, I'm wearing one of them, 2 eyeshadow collections. One of them is the Petal Light, and one is the Walking on Eggshells, which are 2 very popular palettes. And this, you've got a lip liner, which is kind of a brownish dark shade. I was really surprised because the lip liner does not go with either of the lipsticks. And then there's a black eyeliner, and you've got this mascara, and I thought, I'll try the mascara. And darn, I got it on now, and I tell you, it is a really nice, it's a full lash look, not a mega honkin', big honkin' lash, but it's a nice full lash look. And it lasted through my work day. It still looked good. The lashes were separated. I was surprised that this this works so well. And I tried the pink out of the lipsticks. Their lipsticks are pretty good. I hate the packaging. You know, their lipstick packaging sucks. Really, Wet n Wild, pull it together. Come on. Comes in a nice, you've got a makeup case here that you can use. This mascara. This is, what is this called? Make a Wear mascara. It's the turquoise shade. I'm surprised. I've tried a lot of their mascaras and I didn't like them. I think the pink one was okay, the push-up one or whatever it's called. The dark pink one, I like that one. But that one dinged the end of a hot, humid day. It had dings. So this one worked really well. I was just really surprised. And then this pink lipstick, let me just put some on. Very, very pleasant. Kind of a cool Barbie pink. But it's a nice base. You can see, this is the thing I don't like. You have to line it up so that the bottom lines up here so that it'll click right. The nail polish is very shiny and nice, good for a touch-up, but you do need a top coat because it chips right away. I mean, I put this on this morning. We're chipping. But it's good for an emergency, and it's cheap. The Petal Light, this particular one, I think on its own is about $5.99. So for like $2.50, in my view, I got all this other stuff in this bonus mascara, which is going to Being one of my top drugstore mascaras this year, I'm just so surprised. You know, and you never know when you try one of these cheapy things. You're going to be surprised. So the eyeliner is good, meh, you know, all right. That lip liner, when I put it on, I was like, whoa, it looks like a brown eyeliner. So I guess if you have a darker skin tone, you may like this lip liner, but it doesn't go with either of these two lipsticks, the red or the pink. But I think this is a great set, and it's in CVS right now, possibly Walgreens as well. Definitely worth the money. So, you know, give it a try. Don't put your nose up at Wet n Wild, ladies. I mean, I shop at Nordstrom. I shop in Sephora. I'm a Rouge. And I'm a Diamond in Ulta. So, you know, I've been there, you know. I've been around the block. I'm a Viseart girl. I have Viseart eyeshadows. So some of these are just as nice quality. Some of them are. So don't be a snob. Check some of these things out. And if you have a coupon, this is worth trying. It Girl. I was thinking Clara Bow, actress back in the 20s. She was called the It Girl. I think she's the original It Girl. Anyway, It Girl from It Cosmetics. This is a combination of like a bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter, and then you've got a series of 12 eyeshadows with it. Packaging is really well done, you know, as far as like, it's probably going to go to my granddaughters. You pull it up, it's got a nice mirror, and it says, "You are beautiful. You are it." So here is your palette. These shadows always fall short for me, and some people love It Cosmetics eyeshadows because they're so subtle. They don't, you can't overdo it too much. But with these, I found that there's a matte here, a matte here. This particular matte goes very, very white. So you get a white base, which changes your eye look completely. And I would prefer an ivory color for a base. And then you've got like two kind of a warm and a cool transition shade, which I did like. You've got a nice blue, a kind of a, it's a smooth, light, soft black. It's a soft black. It's not a real extreme black. And then you have a few shimmers over here. The blush I didn't like. No matter how I did the combination with my brush, and it's hard, it's a very thin line for each thing, and it's a very weird passage, but no matter where you put your brush on this, it comes up like shiny light pink. And I didn't like this blush combination at all. I thought it was awful. You don't get a lot of product, and that's It Cosmetics' curse for me. I just get so angry. You know, their Brow Wiz has only a small little line of brow product, and their eyeshadows are very small pans. So you will run out of the colors you use most often on this. So I wouldn't recommend this one. I didn't think it was very special at all. I like the idea that they had three things, but I didn't like this combination. And the highlighter is very cool tone. This is a very cool toned set, and I think it's cool tone because she's cool tone. And I don't know. Yeah, it was a fail for me. Although the packaging was nice, I think for the price point you can get something much better. And I don't like to get eyeshadow palettes that have blushes in them unless I'm traveling and I need something that's all in one. I really don't have a use for something like this. So It Girl was a fail for me, unfortunately. Now this will crack you up because this is this Sephora Once Upon a Night palette, and this is one of those toy makeup train case kind of things. Sephora had it on their sales section, and what it is it's one of those all-in-one kits, and you've seen like those Ulta train cases that have like a million different shadows and a million different blushes and a million different lip glosses for like $10, you know. This was, I think, on sale for like $15 or something, and I just thought, well, wait a minute, maybe Sephora has better quality than Ulta. Maybe it's a better quality, because I think their brand personally has some better quality products than some of the Ulta comps. So I was very pleasantly surprised by this, and you open it up. In general, you've got your mirror here, and there's instructions, and there's a little eye and a face chart and an eye chart here. It's actually a very good trainer. If you're brand new to makeup, if you have a, a teenager who doesn't know anything about makeup, I was very impressed. Now the blushes are up here, and there's 6 blushes. These two are, some of them are almost identical. And you have to use your finger to put the blush on, because if you put the blush on with a brush, it disappears into nothingness. I didn't see it at all. And then there's kind of a bronzer, and then there's a nice little highlighter grouping here. So the highlighter grouping had some interesting colors in it, and it did show up on my skin. You can see it right there. There's that blue one. And then you've got some liners, the gel liners. They aren't bad. I've dipped into a few of them to try them, and then they've got brow powders, so you can actually learn colors, what colors you like on yourself, and what colors a teenager can play around with this with their friends. So then this pulls out, it reminds me so much of, anybody watch Star Wars, you know, like, yeah. Okay, well, let's go on this side. This has got some warm tone and pink shadows, and then it's got some yellows and greens and olives, and then it's got some lip glosses and lip toppers. On this side, we have more browns, neutrals. Woo. Let me just pull them all out. We have some browns and neutrals, neutral grays, and I'm telling you, I made probably 3 different eye looks for work, and they lasted through my work day. I was really impressed by the eyeshadows. Of course, the pans are teeny tiny, but it's a great way to learn what colors work for you and what colors don't, so that when you go and get full size, you kind of know your color combinations and what looks attractive on you. Now, the big fails here are these lip glosses all kind of melded into one color, which is your lips reacting to the lip gloss. There was just very little difference in the colors. There was a hint of orange with the orange one. There was a hint of pink. There was an awful lot of transfer. I'll just put one on now, put this on now. And again, you have to use a brush or your finger. Let me just use a brush here. Let's see, which one am I going in? Let's go into this one here so you can see it. So initially it looks like it's really pretty on, and then I would say a cup of coffee, an hour. Let me just show you the transfer, and I found this on my phone. Almost the entire amount will come right off. It has no staying power whatsoever. But initially I liked, you know, seeing the different colors. And again, some of the brighter lip glosses will show up a little bit so that you can at least see what you have. But I think for the money, for like $15 or whatever it was, this is a terrific assortment. And the eyeshadows were not bad at all. I mean, there was a nice assortment here, teeny tiny, but I can get over that. The bronzer, it was okay. The blushes, again, you really have to do them with your fingers or you don't get any payout at all. I like the mirror, I like the instructions. I think this is a wonderful gift for a teenager for Christmas time. Or even if you're older and you're on an extreme budget, this is a great little kit. So that is the Sephora, and it's called the Once Upon a Night palette. So highly recommended, highly recommended. I think I don't feel like I got ripped off, and I think it's a better quality than what they put out, you know, in Ulta with those, what do they call those, sweet gems or something, gem something or others. Speaking of approval, I have found my shirt, my Jeffree Star, my Jeffree Star shirt. I'm not sure where I can wear that, but yeah, maybe on here I can wear that. So, Real Techniques is my favorite brush company. So this came out from them, and this is huge. Huge. You've got a lot of like face brushes, eye brushes. Not as many eye brushes as I think I would have preferred to see. I think that this collection has one of their sponges, which I hadn't really used one of their cropped sponges before, and it's got a bonus sponge holder, which is nice for traveling. It's a sponge holder, it just fits their sponge, of course. So there's the case with the thing in it. If you're traveling, this is nice, except this doesn't stay shut. So, nice try, Real Techniques, nice try. Yeah, so it forced me to try the sponge, which I hadn't tried before, and I do like it. The powder brush is nice. I think some of these brushes they're very soft. So, the eye brushes though, I mean, they only really gave you, like, there's a blending brush, and then there's this very thick, it's almost too thick. Brush for contouring your eye, or brushing in the mascara in the corner is what I use it for. They did give you, like, there is a lash separator, and there is a straight top. Oh, hello. There is a straight top, looks like a crew cut, which is very good for under the eye. There is a brow thing here. This is softer than their other kind of flat top kabuki brushes. It's softer than the ones I'm used to using with my foundation. It worked okay, but I think I like the other ones better. And then this was the slant top one, which you can use for your contour or a bronzer or under the jowls. So as far as the set goes, I was kind of disappointed. I don't think that I would recommend this set. I think that there's better brushes in their collection. You know, this one is similar to this, but this has it's denser, and I think it works better. This is my absolute favorite from the line, and this was from a special set, I think, last year. It's got the duo fiber here. This is my favorite foundation brush, and there's nothing really in here that competes with this. So yeah, it's a nice set. If you don't have any brushes at all, I guess it would work out. But there's not some really good eye brushes in here. I think it could use a few more eye brushes. So that was my take. My fan brush, I already put in one of the giveaway prizes. So that's not here right now. It's packed away. Okay, I had to try this foundation. This is the LAWLESS Flawless Finish Makeup. And I've heard so many things about it. I thought I would give it a try because I'm always looking for the Holy Grail foundation, and I pretty much have decided I found it, but I keep going. That's YouTube, you know, YouTube sickness that we have. Very nice, you know, elegant packaging. Woo. Makes it look like it's very expensive, and I think it's around $40-something. You do have to shake this puppy up, and I always shake up anything anyway that's in a bottle or two. I had trouble initially with the squirter on this. That didn't work very well. It's a very serum-y makeup. Little on the gold tone. It was hard to figure out the colors. You can see it's very golden, very warm. The shade is Kalahari. And what I did was, they said to find your perfect shade, go on to this link, and it went on, it asked you what you used in other foundations. So I put, well, in Fenty, I'm 190. So they said, oh, we have an exact match for you. And Kalahari is what came up. So I think Kalahari is a little bit warm for me. And I'm not sure I like it because it went straight into my lines. Initially, I liked the look of it. It lasted all day. There was good longevity with it. I don't think it's good for people who have a lot of dry skin or deep wrinkles. because these lines especially, oh my gosh, it went right into them, and I don't like it. It's got a very strong scent too, and I don't think it's added fragrance. I think it's the ingredients, but it's a very strong, it's almost a floral scent. And I know that there are other high-end foundations that have a strong scent to them, but so no, Lawless did not work for me, and I think I will probably be taking this one back. So one of the Black Friday specials that I got was from, I think it was QVC. They had the Doll 10 collection. There were three blushes and 3 lipsticks. So it come in sets. And I was wearing one of the sets. I'll just swatch them all for you because I liked them. I thought the lipsticks were extremely creamy. And the blushes were quite nice. They're a cream blush, so they're very subtle on the skin. They don't look clownish at all. This first set is called Tempt Me, and the blush is called Shameless. And this is actually what I was wearing as a lipstick when we started today. Very creamy, and it feels very hydrating. In wintertime, I think that's great. I think this is the darkest shade in the group. This is called Tempt Me, and the blush they matched it with is called Shameless. And I will just take my finger here and put that there, so you can see, and it does sheer out quite nicely. And it does, the blush does have a mirror with it. Let me just put the lipstick next to it so you can see the combo here. So we've got the lipstick, Tempt Me, and then the blush is Shameless. That's the first set. On the second set, this is the Call Me and Speechless. So Call Me is the lipstick. I'm just going to put that here. You can see it's a slightly more coral, lighter version of this. And Speechless is the blush they matched it with. I like the idea that they matched the blushes up there. Now these blushes look much stronger on in the pan than they do on your skin. But you can see that that one, this is more warmer toned and this is a brighter kind of color. But again, nothing is so bright that it looks clownish when it's on. I like this very much. The third set is called Knockout and Spellbound. So Knockout is the lipstick, and Spellbound is the blush. So this is the lipstick. Knockout. It's very mauvey color. So you get a really nice assortment of color ranges and tones here. And this is the blush. So the blush is very mauvey as well. This is a very natural look. I think this is the first day I tried this one. So I think this combination of colors for these 6 is a wonderful set. So if you see this, there was a good longevity with this. I did set mine. I set it with powder, so it did last all day. I thought it was great. So the lipsticks and the blushes that go with them. I think my favorite set was the last one, Out and Spellbound, which were the two. It's the most neutral and natural looking of all of them. So I thought they were great. I really like these. I think they were very, very pleasant to use. One of the sets that I was intrigued by, I think, you know, when the 2 guys get on there on Sephora and they do an ad and they talk about all the things they like. Well, the one guy had like a triple O over this little set. He just said this is his favorite lip formulation, and he's trying them all on and they look so beautiful on his arm. So I had to get them. This is the Smashbox Holidaze Always On Liquid Lip Set. And I don't know how your lips are in winter, but mine are very chapped and I'm always biting my lips. And so I'm very, very skeptical of using matte shades in the winter time. What a cute packaging this is. And these are, there's enough in here to really go the winter. So I think this size is perfect. And this is a great assortment. You've got, you know, nudes, warm tones, reds, and you've got a darker shade too. This is a nice variety of shades. So I'll just swatch each one of them. So what I'm going to do is just swatch each one of these because I think it's worth giving them their own their own little moment in time here. This first one, this is called Man-Eater, like the Hall & Oates song. Wow, a lot of pigmentation with that one. That is a deep, true red. Woo! Hello. This next one, this is called Misconduct. Now this is a real dark, deep berry. I'm telling you, if you like wearing those shades, holy cow. And it does feel wonderfully creamy, and we'll be having enough time for these to dry. So we're actually going dark down. We're going to go a little bit lighter. This is called Rust Fund. That's cute. Instead of Trust Fund, this is called Rust Fund. It's a very pretty color on. And this is called Exo Vlada. Must be somebody she knows, or they know. Exo, like Kiss Hug Vlada. That's pretty. This one I think was my favorite in the group. It's called Steppin' Out. Stepping Out, like Joe Jackson's song. Steppin' Out. And this is Babe Alert. It's a very pretty, neutral. It just brightens your face when you wear this color. Babe Alert, it's called. So those are the shades in the Smashbox set. I would say pick it up. I think Sephora has it for $20, or Ulta does. Whoever has it for $20, pick it up. It's worth it for all of these shades. Really cute assortment. That was one of my favorite things for the holiday releases that came out. Woo! Hello! Melting it down here. Nars came out with a brand new palette, and this is called Ignited. And I haven't been very fair to them in the past, and I thought, well, I'm going to give them a chance. I'm going to try it out and see. It looked like it had a nice neutral amount of color, plus it had some interesting shades with shimmer and sparkle in them, and I thought for the holidays this is going to be perfect. This is kind of a 3D packaging, very, very nice packaging. It is not that velvety feel like its usual stuff. He has a nice mirror on one side, and here are your colors. Now up in here you have your light for your lid. It's a little bit warm and a little bit dark to be a good lid light shade or base shade. This is a wonderful crease color. I'm wearing this now. This is very, very warm. So I used this in the corners. I'm just going to go in with my finger and just touch that up so you can see what it does. But you can't really do a good basic eye without going into another palette, and that always irritates me about, especially an expensive palette. I think this one is a little on the expensive side, and I did just get some fallout there. These shades are dreamy. These shimmer shades are just dreamy. So I'm just going to put this right here. Maybe you can see it, the power of that when it goes on. See how pretty that is? And then these lighter shades. them right up here. Now there is a teeny tiny micro glitter in this, so it just captures the light softly and you get this beautiful glow. I mean, it makes a pretty eye. I'm not sure it's worth the money that I had to spend for this, and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. I'm really on the fence about this because this should be lighter, and I don't mean to nitpick, but if I'm going to pay nearly $50 for an eyeshadow palette, I want to have a color in there I can use on a daily basis. So I do love this shade, and I love all of the shimmers are beautiful. I would have liked to see a dark brown or a black or a charcoal gray maybe in this grouping. All of these light shimmers work really well in different capacities, and they have a really good pigmentation. So I think it's a great little palette. I think it's not quite there enough for me, and I'm going to probably return it. I think that I like to have a good base eye in a palette, and call me picky, but I have shimmer shades in my Viseart palette, and I have some of the browns in my Viseart palette, so there's no use for this for me. I have these shades kind of in another palette, so I thought it would be very, very special. They are high quality. You can make a pretty eye. It's very festive. The packaging is beautiful. I can't recommend it. Can't recommend it. Okay, the newest in the line from the Huda Beauty. Does everybody do that? Everybody does that, right? They do this and they go. This is the prettiest box out of all of them. I like this box. I have all the other boxes because I bought them for the box. Well, you get, and you can use this tin for so many other little things, you know, even if you're traveling, put some stuff in here. It's just so cute. Just so cute to have on your, it's just cute. Okay, so you get a lip liner, which is a beautiful deep creamy red. You get your lip color, which is this gorgeous drop dead red, extremely pigmented color. And then it looks like a Kylie Minogue sample. Not Kylie Minogue, Kylie Kardashian. Yeah, Kylie Minogue. Giving away my age there. Okay, and this is Shameless, which is the same topper they use with a couple of their other sets, so you're probably familiar with this. What Shameless does to it, though, is it transfers it into a pinker tone red. So you've got your kind of true red color here, and you've got your topper here, which will transform. It does on your lips. It looks different on your lips. So I would say, you know, it's a really nice little set, and the tin itself is worth the money. I think it's, what, 20 bucks for this. It's really nice to have a holiday red in your collection. So I did buy a couple of Jeffree Stars. He did have a Black Friday sale, and I tried two of his older lipsticks, actually. One of these is called Skin Tight. This is a lipstick, and I think he had these in a collection at one point. There was like a fan collection of different things. Great packaging on this. It's a little drying, Skin Tight, and this particular shade is a very nice base color. You do need to put over the top of it, you do need to put like some kind of creamier topper of some sort, or it just fades you out too much. So I'm not sure it's my favorite shade from him. This one is Chrysanthemum, and this is a liquid lip, which you need to shake them. This is his regular formulation. I think everything was half price. Chrysanthemum. What I didn't like about this is I initially loved the color. When it dried, it was very, very flat, and it made my texture on my lips really show up, like the wrinkles, where it was chapped, you know, discoloration from my wine. Everything that was wrong with my lips was kind of accentuated. So this was kind of a fail for me, but I mean, it's always like I should have exfoliated my lips first. I don't like to work that hard to wear a lipstick when I know there's lots of lipsticks that cover over that stuff. But I was disappointed in this only because of that, and that's a user thing. It's just me. The color is so pretty. It really is pretty. It's very light on. I mean, it's a light nude. So you know, 1972 kind of a shade. Julep. This is their bamboo treatment mascara, and it's supposed to do really great things to your lashes. It did not really do very much to my lashes, and it has a kind of like Flower Beauty has that cute packaging. Flower Beauty has that twisty thing where you change the shape of your wand, and it affects how the mascara goes on to your eyes. I didn't find that much of a difference between the two sides. The turning it one way or turning it the other way, it kind of still all went on the same way, so I think it was just kind of very gimmicky. As far as treatment for my lashes goes, I get a little nervous when they say things like that because I don't like to have anything too close to my eyeball that's a treatment. So I don't think I would recommend this. It was okay. It was a little smudgy, but I still think, you know, nothing beats my Kush. Nothing beats my Kush mascara for this. So, this is the Prime Time from Bare Minerals. This is highly rated, Good Housekeeping or something, you know, had it in their list of top rated primers. It seems okay. I'm not sure if there's anything totally special about it. It is a little pricey, but it works really nicely. My makeup is going on nicely and staying all day, so I'd like to say I credit this to it. I'm going to have to do half and half, you know, half face with, half face without, and I have to, part of the problem is I forget to check when I get home because I'm so tired when I get home from work. I forget to check, you know, which side, you know, worked better than the other. But I will, and I'll give you a report in my December findings. You know, in December I like to do at the end of the month, I like to do my best of the year things. And, you know, of course, when we get to primers, we'll have to see. Flower Beauty. This is the Color Balm Drops. It's a blush drops. I thought it was an interesting concept. It's kind of a cream blush, ceramide. And you basically put a few drops on your skin and then you blend it out with your hand. And as you can see, it blends out to almost nothing. And that's how I felt about it. Let me see if I can find a spot on my face. Taking a hit for the team here. So you can see the dots, right? And I'm just gonna use my fingers and just pat it in. I'm not even really particularly taking it off or anything. Initially you can kind of see it, but then it's like, where'd it go? Where'd it go? So I don't think it worked. I think it disappears. So I don't know if I ever talked about Master Chrome in the peach, the Molten Peach. I like the Molten Rose Gold the best because it is a beautiful all-purpose highlighter. This one has a little bit more of, I guess it's a micro glitter, and you can see it. I mean, if you get really close, I mean, nobody sees you as close as your 10 by mirror, but if you get really close, you can see all the tiny little dots of micro glitter with this. But the color of this is awfully pretty on, and over the top of the blush and the upper part of your blush, it really adds something. It gives you a healthy glow. Where I noticed it most was right up in here when I put that little dot there, the third eye thing. But this is nice. The peach is nice. I think the Molten Rose Gold is the best shade in this line. These are definitely nice. I think I have on order the one with Nikki Tutorials. I think hers is online. I don't even know. I think it might be a NYX one for her, but that's coming. I should be getting that shortly. The champagne one. I didn't like this at all. The BECCA champagne. Yeah, I didn't care for it. I do like the vanilla one though. This is the vanilla mini. I've dropped it, so this is the vanilla mini. This is a far more natural looking one than the champagne. This one is this the Jaclyn Hill? Anyway, this one is good, the vanilla one. So, I didn't talk about this brush in the past. This is the BALM brush, and it's got a double edge. One end is shorter and one end is longer. You can do all of your eye makeup with this one brush. And I might get a second one because I really like this. Talk about eye brushes. I mean, this just puts the real techniques to shame too with the eye brushes. I really like this, and it's the BALM. I got mine off of Ulta because they do have some BALM products, but you can find this in Kohl's also, and Kohl's is doing, you know, their special right now. So the BALM brush. IT Cosmetics. I wanted to try it. This is the Bye Bye Pores blush. I didn't like this. It just had kind of a flat color, and it didn't do anything for me at all. The shade is Sweet Cheeks, which looks like it'd be a very pretty color on, but it isn't. It's, I don't know how to even describe it. Let me just put, yeah, it seemed to look different. This to me looks more pinky cool than this. And when you put it on, it's kind of shiny. And I don't like that. It's a little too shiny. And it's dark, a little dark. So I like the mirror. I love, you know, the way they have this. They have an imprint on this with it, and then they've got like a little netted kind of texture top to it. So, I mean, it's a quality product. It's just really the color didn't do anything to me, and I don't like a shiny blush. If I'm going to have any kind of a shine on my blush, I'm going to add a little bit on the top myself, but I don't. So this was a fail for sure. The Milk Makeup on Sephora had a little special. I think it was like $15, and you could get this little lip and cheek color. And it came with a small Kush lip mascara. So you get the lip and cheek. I'm not sure I'm that crazy about the lip and cheek color. I didn't think that lasted as well as it could have. It's nice in a pinch that you can use it in both places. The Kush mascara I love. I know some of you don't like it. It's a little bit of a wet formula, so it's a little messy. And if you don't know what you're doing, oh, I sound like what's her name from Anastasia. If you have a shaky hand, or if you're not real confident with mascara, how's that? It might be a little messy. But then you just take your Q-tip and your 10 by mirror and just take out any of those dings that you put there. And that mascara is just, I love this mascara. It's tied for first with the Hourglass mascara right now. But this little set is only $15. It's a great way to try out the Milk Cosmetics. And if you like a cream blush or want to try a cream blush, this is a nice neutral color. This just came out from Neutrogena. This is their Hydra Boost Body Gel Cream. This is a body moisturizer. I really like this. It's just the way it goes on. It absorbs so quickly, and you just feel totally hydrated. It feels like water. You know, it's like you're putting water into your skin. And I do like this very much. I do have the Face Moisture Hydra Boost Water Gel. This has a scent to it. I'm not that crazy about it, so I'm not sure I would repurchase this. It seemed to work okay, but I don't like the smell. This one I really like a lot. I think it's a wonderful, this body gel. You know, and to me, products for the bath, I don't do luxury in the bath because it's just such a waste. It seems like it's such a waste. It's just, you know, it's on your skin such a short period of time for the body washes, and then when you're putting your moisturizer on, you can use an awful lot up. It would be awfully expensive to go to high end on this. So I just found that this was really nice. I really enjoyed this. So one last thing before I let you go. This is the Make Her Jealous. This is an eyeliner from JOAH. This is that company in CVS. It's K-Beauty. And I forgot to talk about this last month when I was talking about the the other products. But this is the gel eyeliner. This works really nice underneath the eye. And then you can just kind of smooth it out. It's a slightly shimmery shade. I think it's really nice. For the price too, I think it's like, what, $4.99 or something like that. Really cheap. Some of the things from this line were pretty hit or miss, but I did like this, and I did like their lip products. I thought they were really nice. So JOAH from CVS. And that pretty much does it for me today. I hope you are all having a wonderful week. I know it's starting up with Christmas shopping and holidays, and happy Hanukkah to my Jewish friends. And it's busy around here at the Fisher household also, the Aville here. I'll be doing a cooking video, believe it or not, and I will be demonstrating a product that somebody sent me, and I'm actually going to do a fashion video, which is something very new for me, but we'll see how it goes, see how you like it. Again, congratulations to the 4 winners, and I will be packing a few of these things into your box and sending them out on Tuesday. So, everybody have a wonderful week and have a beautiful day. Take care.
Happy Kwanzaa.